happens. All right, guys, I'm going to model one more example here. All right, and then I'll give you more practice for tomorrow, okay? All right, first things first. Okay, we're going to do one more scatter plot so you can get a feel for what's going on. So when you go to plot these points, keep in mind that there's a break line here. So it's not, there's 0, but then there's a break. So if you look at, this is 50, and then it goes up to 60. It goes, there's 5 boxes here. So the scale is really 2, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60. All right, so I'm going to plot these points. And the scale in the X is also 2, right? Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boxes. So let's plot this just to get a feel here. It says a survey was taken of 10 low and high temperatures in Fahrenheit in the month of April to establish a relationship between a day's low temperature and high temperatures. All right? All right, here we go. So I'm going to go 26 is going to be 22, 24, 26. And then that was a temperature of 49. And if each box is 2, that's going to be halfway in between. All right? Then the next data point, the X was 28, the Y was 50. So I'm going to go over to 28 and up to 50. Then you have 30, 57. So that's 30, that's 50, 52, 54, 56. 57 is going to be in between those 2 boxes. All right? Then you got 32, 54. All right? 1 past 30 is 32. And then you got 50, 52, 54. All right? 34, 60. So 30, 32, 34. Up to 60. 35, 68. 32, 34, 35 is going to be halfway in between. And then 58, it's going to be here. All right, I'm going to finish up 37, 64. 38, 66, so that's 38, 1 before 40, 60, 62, 64, 66, 41, 63. So you're at 60, 62, 63, and then finally 45. So 40, 42, 44, 45, 72. That's 70, 72. Okay, there might be one more example where I have you do the scatter plot, but generally you're not going to do it. All right, you're just going to come up with the equation. All right, hopefully you're looking at this and you're seeing that this is going up. So this tells me there is a positive correlation. So when you go later on and you look at the correlation coefficient, it's going to be a positive correlation. And if you look, this one, you see how the points, they're fairly close together. The closer these are together, if I drew a line down the middle, the stronger the correlation. If they were spread out more, it would be weaker. The tighter together they are, the stronger your correlation. All right, now we're going to enter this data in. Now this is where you got to really pay attention because this is what it's all about. You go back, you hit stat, you hit edit. We have to clear out the stuff from the previous problem. So you go up to list 2, you hit clear, you come down, it disappears. Go over, up to list 1, hit clear, down, disappear. I'm going to do all the X's first. This time they did the table horizontally instead of vertically, which is slightly annoying. All right, so I'm going to put in all the X's. 26, enter. 28, enter. 30, enter. 32, 34. Make sure you put these in accurately. Take your time, because if you mess up one number, it messes everything up. So I inputted all my X's. If you didn't do that yet, pause the video. All right, now I'm going to enter in my Y's. Pause the video and then enter it in. All right, 49, 50, 57, etc. Enter in all your Y's carefully. All right. I would go back and make sure they match up, right? 45 and 72, see? Then I got 41 and 63. I'm just checking back to make sure it matches everything on my table. All right. 32, 54, then 30, 57, 28, 50. Let's say I messed up, one of the numbers. Let's say I messed up this one, 57. or 54. You go there, you hit clear, and then you just type in a new one. You don't have to start all over if you make one mistake. All right? Necessarily. All right? Now we're all ready to go. All right? All right. All right. Let's do C. We're going to go back to B. I'm going to show you how to do a scatter plot in the calculator. It says C. Use your calculator to find the equation for the line of best fit. Now, that means the same thing as linear regression. Round the slope to the nearest hundredth and the y-intercept to the nearest integer. All right? So right from here, you just hit stat again. Go over to calculate. You could either type in 4 or hit the down arrow. We're going to do linear regression. This should say list 1. That should say list 2. Unless you do something to your calculator, it should be like that. If not, you would hit second 1 to get list 1 back. See how list 1's in blue? Second 2 to get list 2 if you had to. Otherwise, you're just going to hit enter a bunch of times and it's going to come up. Now, once you put the diagnostics on, this R value is always going to come up. So you're not going to have to worry about that ever again. All right? So I go back. And remember, it's y equals, they use ax plus b. And then they tell me a is 1.1626. And b is 19.073. All right? A is your slope. That goes in front of the x. It says round the slope to the nearest hundredth. So that's the 6. The 2 we're going to stay. So A is going to be 1.16. The y-intercept says round to the nearest integer. So that's the 9. The next digit's 0, so you're going to stay. So that's my A is my slope, B is my y-intercept. Y equals 1.1x plus 19. All right? D, use your line of best fit to estimate the high temperature for the day in April, given that the low temperature, if you go back to your table, your low temperature is your x. So they're giving you the x. X is 42. So now I'm going to take this 42, I'm going to plug it back into my calculator, 1.16 times 42 plus 19. Get the value, 67.72. We're going to round to the nearest degree, so 68 degrees. All right? All right, E. Determine the correlation coefficient R. All right, I go back. Oh, because I typed that in, I lost it. So I'm going to go back again, and I'm going to redo this. All right? R was 0.9477. All right? Let's round it to the nearest, let's go to the nearest thousandth this time. Just so you practice different place values. Thousandths, it goes tenths, hundredths, thousandths. This is your thousandths. The next value is a 7, so it's bigger than 5. We're going to go up. So 0.948. All right, this is really close to 1. The closer you are to 1, the stronger the correlation. So it's a strong positive. Positive because the line's going up. If the points were going down, then this R value would be negative, then it would be a negative correlation. So it's a strong positive correlation. All right? The closer to 0, the weaker the correlation or the relationship. All right? All right, I'm going to call it quits here. I'll show you on another day how to do the scatter plot on the calculator. All right, I don't want to overwhelm you too much. So practice these 2 questions, putting the data in, hitting the stat button to get the equation. That's most important, that you could do that. Practice these 2 questions. We'll do more practice tomorrow, all right? So this is it for Monday. Have a good night.